Clara's food market, found in the middle of the port, was jammed packed with people, all haggling or throwing items into baskets. Matthias swerved and dodged his way to each stall. Never being around so many people before, he felt awkward and anxious, not knowing what to say or do. "Excuse me, young man." An elderly elf brushed past him gently. He marveled at her long ears, slender and pointed. Never saw an elf before. What's more, despite her age, she was quite attractive, her body shaw. He snapped himself out of it, scolding himself for even thinking that way about someone old enough to be a grandparent. Moving to a meat stall, he stopped, wanting to pick up something for Draco. "Hello, young man. What can I get ya?" The stall's owner, a tall blond man with a graying beard, stepped over to him, a grin on his face. "Do you have any venison?" "Sure do. Killed it myself. You a hunter?" The man ducked under the stall for a brief moment, hauling up 3 slabs of meat, slapping them down on the wooden counter, "When I have to. I don't hunt for sport. Nothing better than feeling the sun on your face while stalking your kill. I did it to feed my family." Matthias smiled, though hearing the man talk so happily about killing animals made him want to vomit. It may be the same for some people, but he felt killing animals for food and killing them simply for fun were 2 different things. And, while he had no problems with the former when in need, he couldn't stand the second. "How much for the meat, sir?" "Call me Quinn, and it'll be 10 coins. 10 coins for 2 pieces. Buy the 1. He dug the coins out of the coin purse Antonia gave him, dropping them into Quinn's hand. "Want a bag? Sure you from Theamore?" Quinn asked suddenly, while slipping the venison into 2 brown paper bags. "No, I'm here on the orders of Viceroy Kern, a knight of Redora. Surprised they'd take a kid so young." "You must be skilled." Matthias nodded wordlessly, taking the bags. "Come back any time. Open from early morning to night." He left the meat stall behind, heading for one selling pies a bit farther down. Out of the corner of his eye, he thought he saw a girl looking at him. He fought against looking and kept walking, unsure why. If he were right, she'd be staring at him. "Get yours while they're hot. Meat pies. On sale now." His stomach growled in anticipation as he neared the pie stall, scanning their selection. Sorry, it's the same girl he saw seconds before knocked into him, nearly knocking him flat on his ass. By some miracle, he held on to the bags. "Watch where you're going, geez," he muttered, beginning to go to the pie stall. "Oh crap, hey." He tucked the bags under an arm and ran after the girl, barely glimpsing her turn down an alleyway. Reaching the alley, he started to head down it, when he stopped, noticing the girl standing there, his coin purse in hand. The shadow of the buildings cloaking most of her body in darkness. "You mind giving that back?" "I might if you help me." "Why would I help someone who stole from me?" "I overheard you talking with Quinn. You're a knight, right?" "Yeah, so what of it?" She tossed the coins back, stepping forward. Shoulder-length corn-colored hair, raggy clothes, brown eyes that held an edge. It was clear whoever this girl was, she lived on the streets. "My sister," she said, looking at the ground. "Something's terrible happened to her." "What?" The girl shook her head, eyes shut. "If you don't tell me, how can I help?" She was murdered." Matthias blinked, not sure if he heard right. "Did you say murdered?" "The guards know who did it, but won't do anything because she's from a rich family." "Who?" The girl's shoulders sagged as she fought back tears. "Diane Weiss. My sister's ex-girlfriend. Why do I always find myself in weird situations? Can you help me?" At first he wanted to brush her off and walk away, still bitter over her stealing his purse. But seeing the hurt in her eyes softened him. As much as he might regret it later, he meant to take his vows seriously. "I can, but how? Arrest her and bring her the police. Because they'll listen to a knight, right?" "What's your name?" "Veronica." "I'm Matthias." She reached out, taking his hand in hers. "Please let me avenge my sister. She was all I had, and that bitch took her from me. If I could get justice the right way, I would, but her money protects her." "Okay, where does she live?" "I'll show you." She snatched up his hand, leading him up the road. As she led him, he kept on thinking what Antonia would do, and if he was making the right choice. Murder couldn't be tolerated, could it? Surely if the local authorities weren't doing their job, a knight needed to step in. Veronica led him into the rich section of Clara, which was how one would expect. Posh homes. Beautifully kept sidewalks. Even the trees looked healthier than in other parts of the city. The few people on the street looked at them curiously, no doubt wondering why poor people were invading their territory. Matthias did his best to smile, but Veronica's pull jerked him along, making it hard for him to do anything other than grimace. Finally, after turning down a side street, she let go. Grabbing his sore wrist, Matthias looked up at the house. 3-storied, the Weiss home's size made it stand out among their neighbors. Before he could get a more thorough look, Veronica dragged him across the lawn, heading straight for the front door. Slipping out of her grasp, he insisted on handling the matter, ordering her to stand back. She complied grudgingly. Taking a breath, Matthias knocked, then waited. A few minutes later, the door opened, a woman in a yellow flower dress answering, "Yes." Instantly, he could feel the disdain radiating off her. She looked him over like she was dissecting an insect. He was beneath her and wanted him to know it. "Is Diane home, Mrs. Weiss?" he asked, voice flat, no need to be polite. "You have no business with my daughter, I can assure you. Now please get off my property." "Oh, I don't." Matthias held the door as she attempted to slam it in his face. "You have no idea what I am, so I suggest you not act so hasty. What could you possibly be other than trash? A knight of Solas. Don't make me laugh." The woman's arrogant smile turned sour when he drew the sword Antonia gave him, proving his words were true. You're truly a knight. Ain't your daughters under arrest for murder?" He shoved her aside then and marched inside, calling out Diane's name as he went. A cozy living room greeted him, but nothing else. Above the roaring fireplace, he noticed an urn. Squinting, he made out a name, Diane. Suddenly, he heard Mrs. Weiss scream. Spinning around, he saw Veronica stabbing her in the face, tearing into a cheek. "How dare you make up lies about my sister?" Veronica howled. "I killed your daughter, not her." Mrs. Weiss struggled to get the girl off, but what strength she had faded as more blood flowed. She was taking her away from me, making her abandon me. Matthias fumbled with his sword, fingers slipping several times before he finally got a grip on it. Drawing the blade, he charged Veronica, cutting her down with a slash. But the damage was already done. Mrs. Weiss, barely conscious, slumped to the floor, eyes fluttering, breathing shallow. Terrified at what he caused, Matthias picked her up, rushing out onto the street calling for help. Now she died in his arms, help arriving too late. When confronted by authorities over his involvement, Matthias confessed to being used by Veronica, but swore he never knew her true motives. Cataclara police believed differently, however, and they arrested him.